Morning.
Morning, everybody.
Hello. No, we can't use
No,
that.
put that on
Matt.
there. Yes, we can. We're too
Sorry,
low.
we're too low.
Putting
We're
me
too
rose-
dark.
No, lift that up and I'll put...
No, because this won't sit in.
Oh, is it bigger?
It's
Morning, everybody. Good. Oh my God, we're both wearing white. This won't work.
That's hardly shocking.
No, but it doesn't look good.
We'll go and change.
I'm
back. I'm back.
He's
Sorry,
back,
we're a bit late.
and he's very annoyed. We're sorry we're a bit late. It's just like it was really nice because Mark's been away for 10 days and the girls just came down and Maddie said, "Oh, it's so nice to hear your voice, Daddy."
Oh, so I did a jig.
Yeah, and I danced to Car Wash.
Well, why did you dance to Car Wash?
Well, I was listening to this podcast the other day. Right, it's Diary of a CEO.
Oh, yeah.
And it was neuroscientist.
Subscribe. Lots of you watch, but you don't subscribe.
That's what he says.
And
he goes, "I find this so fascinating.
Does he do it like he's discovered something?
I've discovered this from YouTube, and 69% of you that are watching don't subscribe. So could you? And this neuroscientist was talking about how they did this filming, basically, of the brain while it was asleep. And it has to be 7 hours, but after 7 hours, your brain starts, she said it was literally squirting liquid.
So hang on.
That cleans out.
Brain squirt,
and it cleans your brain of the toxins that build up as plaque,
hang on, what does
which
this?
becomes Alzheimer's.
Well, when does it squirt?
But you have to have at least 7 hours sleep.
So my brain squirted last night.
Yeah.
First time.
Yeah, the brain squirt.
How do you know a squirter?
If you slept for 7 hours.
And squirting all night.
No, it only starts to squirt after 7 hours. That's what I'm saying to you. So you can't have 5 hours sleep or 4.5 hours sleep like you do.
So does it make the bed wet?
What is wrong with you? I'm talking about brains.
So am I. What's come out the ear? Maybe that's why. Oh, no.
No.
Anyway, for the first time in 7
dark.
years, I've had a Fitbit. The sleeping aspect of it said, congratulations. I woke up to a message from Fitbit saying, congratulations, excellent.
He honestly, because he's such
not good.
Because he's such a
I always
student.
used to get
He's
fair.
such a student, and I love that about him.
I used to get fair.
And I find it so fascinating how he loves numbers and things and grades.
Leads.
And he's got an excellent.
I'm so excited.
This is a bit like if somebody goes on a really strict diet for like a couple of weeks, so they can lose the weight initially, and then it gives them the impetus to like carry on. So I've said to him,
Dina, your brain is in your nether regions, Mark. That's why it's squirting all the time, Dina.
Oh, God!
Dina took us there. Dina,
don't
I haven't
encourage.
had a filthy thought since you came into the room.
Mark, can you pull this table towards me? Dina, don't you think that's fascinating? It starts to squirt after 7 hours.
All right, lads.
But
squirt is a bit like moist.
So listen.
Yes.
So now he's got an excellent. I've said to him, you've now got a proper pattern of sleeping, so you can get to bed at 11.
I wouldn't say that. I took melatonin last night. It says, as most things in America do, not habit forming. I don't believe it because I've
not
already
the way
got
you
that
are.
habit.
Look, he's so happy because he's had a sleep. You can't get it here though. Can't get melatonin here.
Why not?
Don't know.
Because it's habit forming. Maybe it's because it's habit forming. Anyway. Squirt is worse than moist, says Elaine Denning. I agree.
Well, only if you've I was talking about brains. I was not talking about penises. I was talking about brains.
I wasn't talking about penises.
Right, okay, come on.
Dina. MeTube, I'm so pleased to see your comment here. I saw someone worried that your comments had been sort of blocked or something. So
never.
No, of course never. But I think there's been an update to the live chat since I've been gone.
The only way that anyone is ever like removed or blocked is if they are rude.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No other reason.
Hey, this is really interesting. I was looking at YouTube was telling me some interesting details that many of you watch, but you don't necessarily subscribe.
Yeah.
So hit the subscribe button.
Because then we can bring you more fabulous content. That's what it says.
Yeah, okay.
We'll be able to bring you great guests.
Shannon Glendinning, apropos of nothing, says, Mark, you should try tart cherry juice.
Yes.
Why have I heard that before?
Because it's very good for sleep.
Oh, not squirting.
Right. If you say it one more time, I'm not going to do coffee moaning with you.
That was a quick return to form. Oh, babe. I won't say what I'm thinking.
Did you watch any of the coffee moanings? They're a fucking disaster.
Okay, I think I watched with great frustration and then great... Why do you keep bringing it closer? They don't want to be any closer. We can't get closer.
Because I can't see.
You don't need to now. You've got me here.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm just saying, if you want that release, look at your face. We can see every pore. which is lovely. I thought the Sleepy Girl cocktail is cherry juice and magnesium, says Dina.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them why it's called a porn star martini.
No.
Okay. It's honestly been a lifesaver, says Caris Reese. Sleepy mocktail, says Shannon Glendinning.
Dina was talking about this yesterday, actually. Oh, you were doing the Curly Cooks. She was telling us on the Curly Cooks.
Oh, look, Bellex says
so
Stephen, a.k.a. CEO, drives me mad when he says that. I won't subscribe on purpose.
I love you. Well, you know what? It's because it's... Was that the door?
Hello, Faith.
Was that the door?
No, it was the stairs.
Because, you know why? It's because it's recorded. So how many times can you listen to somebody go, I was looking at YouTube. Oh,
it's recorded?
Yeah.
Oh, that's silly.
But it's like, you know...
why do I keep doing that?
It's like when you get exercise DVDs and they laugh at exactly the same point every time. You can't do it.
Right.
Do you remember when I did my DVD, I said I don't want to laugh or make any comments because it would drive everyone mad.
Yes. Christopher Cundall, hope you're well, mate. Tylenol PM recommended by pilots as the best medication with the least side effects. Long. Swear by them when needed.
Scaffolding. But you're in Australia though, Christopher. We won't be able to get it here. We can't get anything that's
can't get anything that's of any kind of addictive nature legally, can we? Apart from alcohol. We get lots of that.
Get loads of that. Yeah. Morning, noon and night.
Anyway, no, going back to, did I see? Yes, I did. And I saw the hysteria of Lee and you. I thought it was just absolutely brilliant.
I didn't know you were watching that. You could have helped me.
I was messaging you constantly.
Oh.
Messaging you constantly.
No, what happened, I worked out what happened. You know when you all kept saying turn the volume down? The problem was because it was a different way of doing the coffee moaning through my phone, I couldn't turn the volume down because I couldn't hear anything. It
was so annoying, but then it became so funny, I just stopped.
Oh, wow. It was funny.
And did you actually urinate? I mean, wet yourself.
Just shut up.
Did you?
Mark, you're really annoying me now. Honestly, stop it.
MT,
it's
Mark,
too much.
Mark did message. We could see Mark was remotely pulling his hair out with this nostril. Absolutely.
See, right. I just thought he was asleep. I thought it was a troll. When everyone kept saying Mark, I thought, oh, well, it won't be Mark because Mark's asleep.
No.
Because it was like 3 o'clock.
I was laughing hysterically. And bless Lee, we talked about this. It was so lovely to see Lee laughing I don't mean in a guarded fashion like he's guarded, but Lee's one of those guys who, if you make them laugh, you feel a huge measure of achievement because he's so naturally funny.
Well,
but when
Dina makes him laugh. Jesus Christ, he was laughing like a nutter that night.
But that was him laughing in a sort of unguarded moment. He couldn't help himself.
He'd lost it. He said to me afterwards, that happened. It's so rare through his life. He can count it on one hand, so I feel very proud.
Yeah, no, that was good. Well, but it was due to your utter incompetence.
I know. I was going to say, even though it's because I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
But it's lovely to have him back. It's lovely to have him back due to his technicals because it was very tough without his technicals. And it's lovely to have him back just because he's lovely.
Exactly. Andrea Liberatsky says, I will be removed for being rude, though, if I can. So shall I stop?
Yes.
Okay.
But I did say to him yesterday a number of times, I didn't miss that. And I didn't miss that. So we're going to see if we can not do the things that I didn't miss.
Well, like what?
Maybe we should do a podcast on the things we didn't miss about each other while we were away.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be good.
What, just to make us feel doubly paranoid?
No, because I think with anything, it's always good to look at because of course we miss each other, we love each other, we live together, but there are things that you can notice that you think, oh, actually, that's really annoying about my partner. You will have had them as well. And it's just good to...
It's true. Yeah. Freya van der Westhuizen says, did you say testicles, Nadia?
Not this morning.
No.
Oh, technicals. Oh, very good. He's going to be pissed off he missed that one.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Yeah, tickling her technicals. Tickling her technicals. That's a new one, that. Okay, what are we talking about today, Nads?
Right, we are going to be talking
My head is still over the Atlantic.
Kate's cancer update. And at the same time, I thought I could just give you a little update on Hannah as well, because so many of you ask me all the time about Hannah. And also... lie detectors for Brits traveling to Greece. Wait till you hear about this.
That's crazy.
Wait till you hear about this. And also, when do you cancel a celeb? Now, we're not going to be talking about cancelling and pulling bullies together to swarm on a person and finish their lives. We're talking about in our hearts.
Yeah.
Who have we gone, oh no, oh no, and I loved your work and I loved you, and now I know that, and I've got the ick, and I'll never be able to listen to your music or watch you again or go to see your movies, or maybe we'd still see them but we wouldn't review them because we want to promote them, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So have a think about somebody that might have turned you off, so that we can also read out your comments when we do that topic.
Yeah, and also let me just give you an example, classic example that came up whilst we were in New York. Nanny Di said, "Oh, what a pain that Woody Allen did what he did, and it's, you know, he did one thing and he cancelled his whole career and his whole thingy." And also, I want to talk about Tarantino, which is the kind of peg for that story later. And also, there's a calf update, not an update on my calf of my leg, which is much better now. Thanks for asking. But about the cow that was the baby cow that was hit by the policeman.
Because Mark hadn't seen the video.
I was shocked.
Actually, it was interesting watching you watch it today because you were so shocked. But I realised when you went, oh my God, he's knocked it again. I pulled out of the video the first time I saw it. I didn't know he'd knocked him again.
Yeah, now I've got the video, and there is a warning, obviously, if you don't want to watch it. But we'll be playing that later, so please do say if you don't. Philip Schofield, another good example. Casrally, exactly.
Yeah.
So what should we start with? Should we start with Kate's cancer update? This was a statement that she released to the public. And this is about her ongoing treatment, isn't it? I don't like using the word battle anymore.
No, neither do cancer patients.
Shall I read it?
You know what? When we were talking about whether we talk about this today, I was reminded of the shy sub who Dina and I bumped into a few years ago. Was it the Range, Dina? I can't remember I think it was the Range. And you said you watch all the coffee mornings, but you're a shy follower and you don't ever message. And that you'd also had breast cancer. And you said that there was a number of people that are subscribed to the channel here who have cancer, and that you all really appreciate it when we do talk about the ongoingness of cancer, that it's not just a case of you have the treatment and that's it. So I was just thinking of you today, and I was thinking, those subs would want us to just comment on this.
Yeah.
It's not us mining Kate's disease. It's us hopefully just again highlighting just how difficult it actually is. And it's very easy to package them. Oh, somebody's just getting treatment now. Oh, somebody's 5 years, and it's never that simple.
Yeah, I mean, my thing about the whole battling thing is kind of I think it possibly makes it, if you're struggling with it and you don't feel like you're battling with it, I think then it encourages you to potentially feel like you're somehow failing.
Exactly. And then when they say this person was brave, battled it, this one fought, and this one, so they don't like it. I have to watch so carefully because those words just come to me all the time. We're all conditioned to think of it like that way. But you know what? When I sit with Hannah in that hospital and I see what she goes through, I'm left as a wisp, because I just don't know how she does it. I don't know how she's done it for 11 years. I cannot fathom it. And so I sit there and I have to bite my lip not to say, you're so fucking brave. Because I will say brave. I do feel it, because when I look at it, but people will say, but I've got no choice.
Yeah.
But she smiles and she chats and she saves other people from feeling distressed about her, and
I think what's interesting, I just want to share this comment. Freya says cancer is not the only illness people are trying to overcome. No, you're absolutely right. And I think the peg for this is because Kate has obviously publicly talked about this, and that's why it sort of specifically speaks to people struggling or living with cancer. I do think
fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, these conditions,
all sorts of autoimmune diseases and issues. But I think what it also speaks to is that everyone in their own different way, whether it be a mental health problem or mental health illness or diagnosis or whatever, everyone is living their own life, and everyone is, you could say, battling their own demons, is kind of trying to be brave with their own kind of,
And
struggles.
I think it's a good point that you make, because actually, though we are giving an update, what we're talking about is the front face that you have to put on.
Yeah.
Whether you've got something like fibromyalgia or bipolar or whatever it is, there is so much front facing that has to be done on a daily basis. And that's why that phrase is so important. You never know what a person's private hell is. So just always choose to be kinder if you can until somebody gives you reason not to.
Totally agree.
And then have them. No.
No. But I also think there's another aspect of it that I think the relatives of those people who are left behind, I can think of a few cases or a few people I know whose parents or family or relatives or friends were diagnosed with cancer. And they quite rapidly demised because, and that's my worry about finding things out, is that I worry I'd be one of those people who, not that I would feel a sense of failure, not at all, not that I failed, but that I would think, oh my God, this is a mountain too big to fight. Now, I worry when we use this kind of language for the relatives left behind who perhaps would be left thinking, well, she went quickly or he went really quickly. Does that mean they weren't brave? Does that mean they didn't battle? And if they lost the impetus or the desire.
That's why people don't like battle.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this one didn't fight a battle.
Yeah. So, exactly.
So I don't use the word battle, but I will use the word brave.
No, of course.
Even though Hannah doesn't like me to say it.
But Kate Middleton's statement said, I'm going to paraphrase parts of it rather than read all of it. She said, I've been blown away by all the kind messages of support over the last couple of months. It's made the world of difference to William and me and has helped us both through some of the harder times.
Now that in the world of people with cancer or with any debilitating disease, it's like when I go to sit with Hannah when she's having her treatment and Tits, our other friends, had cancer. She goes, she goes, I can't tell you how wonderful it is when people just do something without asking.
Right.
Oh, let me do this. No, just do it.
In terms of sort of physically helping.
Just whatever it is you feel that person might need, just do it for them.
Yes.
So that's that kind of thing she's saying. She genuinely, I think, will mean that.
Yeah.
That's not just royal speak.
The
amount of letters and shared experiences that she will have got that will help through those. Because I know, like when we do a post with Hannah on Instagram, she will always read every comment and she always says to us, oh my God, I can't believe how much positivity has been sent to me and how much. So, I mean, I'm just likening it to real world, not just princess world.
Just quickly, I just want to say, Lee Durrant, it's the word trooper that I don't like. I know what you mean, she continues, I'm making good progress, but as anyone going through chemotherapy will know, there are good days and bad days. Jeez. And on those bad days, you feel weak, tired, and you have to give in to your body resting. But on the good days, when you feel stronger, you want to make the most of feeling well. My treatment's ongoing, will be for a few months. On the days I feel well enough, it's a joy to engage with school life, spend time on the things that give me energy, as well as starting to do a little work from home. Looking forward to attending the King's birthday parade this weekend, a few other public engagements over the summer. I'm learning how to be patient, especially with uncertainty, taking each day as it comes, listening to my body and allowing myself to take this much needed time to heal. Thank you for your continued understanding. Something else I just wanted to say, I think, is
uncertainty.
I think something else that's really important about these kind of messages. I know a lot of people who are, and I know there's the whole anti-royalist thing, but you have to just park that to one side. Whether they should.
She's just a human being.
She's a human being, and whether we like it or not, she is who she is, and she does hit the headlines when she hits it. Where I think this kind of thing is really important, there's that whole kind of line with football players when they do something awful, role models and all that kind of stuff. I think we underestimate, and we get a sense of this sometimes from the lives here. We underestimate the number of people who are going through such difficult things on their own. Yeah. And I think hearing anything, in fact, better to hear something from someone who appears to have everying, using exactly the same language, means that it is the great big equalizer.
Because I was struck by, I was deconstructing it with you, wasn't I? I was saying, oh, I know what that means. And I know. And there is, those days when, one's had treatment and then for terrible days of sickness and all of that. It's just so tough. It's so tough. And then if you're through the treatment, anybody here, I know, the achy bones, still the side effects from the medicine and all of that. It's a lot. So we just wanted to give a bit of a hug.
Yeah. Really. Mandy Dennis, my first grandchild is terminal. He's 3. I'd give him my life if I could.
God.
And everyone send Mandy our love.
Mandy,
all of our prayers.
When I was the last time I was at the Marsden in Sutton, and there was, I was walking down this long, long corridor and there was this mum and dad in front of me. And the mum was holding this child. He was probably maybe the age of your grandchild, actually. And just looked so poorly. And the way they were just walking, these parents, and they got into the lift. And I have been struck. I didn't even tell you when I came back. I was so upset. I've thought of them every day. I was talking to my mum the other day, actually, about them. So, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's so much. I don't know how you bear it, because it's true meaning of the word unbearable. It's not fucking fair.
Absolutely.
I hate cancer. I hate
Lots of love for you,
it.
Mandy, and for your grandchild.
Amanda, so sorry.
So sorry. Okay, moving on. We're going to talk about why don't we talk about this British families? This story is remarkable. So this story in the Standard, British families flying to Europe may face an artificial intelligence lie detector test when filling out things like visa forms and passes and security kind of documents. Holiday makers have been warned a lie detector test could catch them out before they're granted entry to Europe. Artificial intelligence software may stand in the way of family trips. Scanners analyze a passenger's body and facial movements inside airports or ferry ports while they fill out application forms.
Right.
Now, hang on a minute.
This is just, can we be seeing that quite
Yeah. So first of all, what's your initial...
Right.
Can I...
I'm like that any form I ever fill in.
Well, I was just going to say, every time I go through the airport, I immediately look like the guy from Midnight Express.
He does.
I start to
he
sweat.
Always goes, has everybody sorted out? Nobody's got water. It's always him. He always gets taken off. He always got something in his
looks
bag.
like cocaine.
And he's like, but we all get it, don't we? Just that feeling, if our bag gets stopped, we all go into a place of like, oh, could somebody have used my bag? It's petrifying. No Brit is ever going to go to bloody Greece if they do this.
Well, and also, if you're asked to fill anything in, I think everyone goes into a place of, I'm going to do something wrong. No, but people, maybe, yeah. But
maybe everyone else is going, I don't.
It's never a fear of putting in the wrong information. It's a fear of filling it out incorrectly.
I think our problem often is, Mark, because we're both so similar, both Scorpios, both with ADHD, because we both experience things so similarly, we think the whole rest of the world does.
They don't.
Like the way we talk about our death every day, nobody, and then we go, oh yeah, don't you talk about death every day? And everyone goes, no, that's really sick and weird.
MeTube says AI for lie detection is pretty accurate. It might be pretty accurate, but could it not be? Here's the thing: could it not be picking up the natural lies of what it is to be a human, which is like, you may have brought some deodorant, which is slightly more than 100 mils.
Or you've bought some deodorant that your wife has told you not to buy anymore because it's got such and such and such and such in it, and you're going to give yourself something nasty. There's all sorts of things a person could have in their case. I mean, they're not going to be asking you about your case.
Lee Durrant had a sherbet dip that someone thought was a bag of cocaine. But haven't we heard the phrase sherbet dip in yonks?
But also, MeTube, just on this, they may be correct that they're picking up that the heart is beating faster, or you're slightly sweating, but that doesn't mean you're lying.
But isn't that just being in an airport?
You're like that from the second we get on the train at bloody East Croydon.
At JFK Airport, every single person me and my mother saw had airport face. You are the exception in that you don't have airport face.
Because we always get there in plenty of time.
Because I'm going through the stress of making sure we do.
No, you're not. I travelled
all my
life on my own. I've done travel programs.
Babe.
But men do this so much, they think nobody can travel without them.
No, I don't think that at all. But
the thing is, last time I had to travel without you, I was a nervous wreck because you've made me into thinking that I can't travel.
All the way back without a stress in the world. But I think if you took an AI test of me, I probably would have come up as lying about something. But here's the thing.
What about anyone else? Do you have this same feeling about... There's quite a few people messaging.
Well, no. Someone here said, Amy, mate, it's like, I said this earlier, if a police car ever pulls up behind me, I always think they're going to pull me, even though I know I've done nothing wrong.
Yeah, well,
it's like when a police officer walks past you, and even though you're completely innocent, you feel like a criminal.
Like when the teacher used to say, okay, we're not leaving here until whoever's done it's owned up. And you sit there thinking, have I done it? Do I need to own up? You just
Didn't you sometimes think, I'll put my hand up just to get through this unbearable unknowability of them thinking it's possibly me? I did it.
Did you?
I think I did. I just couldn't bear the stress and anxiety of it all.
Sweet.
I thought, I just can't bear this because they're going to think it's me anyway. So I'll put my hand up and it's me. Even though it wasn't me. I don't know what it was. I think it was stealing something, like a journal or something like that.
It's like yesterday.
Natasha.
Mark fell asleep on the sofa here and the girls went into the video room. They said, Maddie went, oh no, oh God. What? She goes, Dad set it up for us before he fell asleep. I can't bear it. I can't bear how sweet he is. It's so lovely.
Michelle S., I hate flying, so I'm a nervous wreck as soon as I get to the airport.
Exactly. Well, that's a good point. People that are just scared of flying. Exactly,
Yeah,
Michelle.
Well, look, but more importantly, in this piece, it does say, civil rights groups and politicians have said that this is absolutely diabolical. It's
because where are we going to end up?
And they say that people who will be particularly punished are those who struggle with anxiety or mental health issues, or, which is true. If you struggle with any kind of anxiety or sort of nervous sort of tick. I mean, my mum, when she's asked if she wants a coffee, looks like she's gone into complete sort of meltdown.
But the thing is, it's like you always say, if you open Pandora's box, it's like it starts with this. Where will it end up? I was thinking, imagine if they started using it when people got married.
Wow, that's a great idea for a show.
Like, are you really happy? Do you really love them?
For, what is it called?
No,
what's the phrase? In living and
in death. Sickness and in health.
Is it really, though? Why have they done a dating show with a lie detector?
Because only my brilliant brains just thought of it.
Let's do it. The lie detector. Lie detector love.
Lie detector love. We've given it away now. Some other fucker will make it.
Yeah, well, okay. AI prenup tests.
Wouldn't it be
does
good?
anyone think it's a good
idea?
idea?
Really think you're marrying forever? Oh. So you could do it at the prenup stage. Good idea, because then it's like, so why have you put this caveat in that if you do, is that because you're actually thinking? But
anyone who's doing the prenup, they'll be like, no, I'm not doing this fucking show. You've got to get people through the door.
We should do a lie detector test podcast.
Yes, that would be fun. AI, it could read our faces.
But it'd be interesting.
Do you squirt all night with your brain? That sort of question.
It'd be interesting if we could actually really test it and we know that we're telling the truth, and then we see what happens.
Yeah. Get this series going. I'll apply.
It'd be Zoe. So good. Lie detector love.
Yeah, well, lie detector love. LDL.
That is a dating show with lie detectors.
Yeah,
out. No, but it would hurt people's feelings.
It will. Well, they all do. All these shows do.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to make one where I'm doing. I like watching them.
What's that awful one we were watching recently? Love Triangle. No. Love Triangle's vicious. Vicious.
We've just watched the rest of it. We watched it without you.
Border control is so tight entering Australia, Shannon Glendinning. When we got to JFK Airport, my mum
Dina loves that Australia border control.
My mum was in a wheelchair, and they're incredibly brisk and terse. And I thought, they'll be a bit softer because my mum's in a wheelchair. So what they get you to do is you go through customs in America. You have to put all four fingers, then your thumb, all four fingers, then your thumb. My mum was too short. Then she had to try and stand up. And then he started to attack me, because I wasn't elevating my mother into the air, actively moving her arm. So my mum put her hands on the thing, and he said, can you help your mother get a thumb? Her thumb's done this weird thing. I hope you don't mind me talking about your thumb in this way, Mum, but my mum's thumb has started to have a love affair with her elbow. So it's pulling all the way back.
Oh, God, so what did you do?
Did you have to lift her up? Tilt her upside down. And I looked at the guy, I said, you can see that, but he said, help your mother. I'm sort of trying to help my mother. It was so hostile.
Well, they're trained in Israel, though. The New York police, aren't they?
Well, these were the custom border, but I guess it's the same lot. It's the same. Oh, talking of which, you've mentioned Israel. Oh, well done. Look at a segue. I want to ask you guys, at what point would you cancel a celeb or a star or a creative or someone you admire?
In your home, we're not talking about bullying, cancel culture.
I'm not talking about
that.
Promoting the cancelling of someone.
No.
But in your heart, at what point do you get a crushing moment of sadness or defeat when you hear something?
You go first. Who's your first person?
Well, it's happened this morning.
There'll be many.
It's happened this morning. I think Woody Allen was one. That was a crushing disappointment.
Woody Allen for me. I was a massive Woody Allen fan.
Yeah.
Really was.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, nobody can excuse it. The fact that people now, in case you don't know, he married and has children, is still married to the daughter he adopted with Mia Farrow. Now, people will say, but he didn't live in the house, but he was there. He was.
Well, I don't think.
Sorry, he hadn't adopted him. Mia Farrow had adopted her.
I think any way you look at that, it's
disgusting.
It's not right.
It's disgusting.
So it's not right. So anyway, so that's one example.
I can't watch him now. I can't watch it.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I can or can't. I just haven't, and I've chosen not to. It would be too difficult.
But if somebody said, "Oh, come on, let's have a bit of a thingy night. We'll watch all his favourite films," would you be able to sit and watch?
No, them? I mean, the reason we had this conversation, I was reminded of it at the Tribeca Film Festival, where Jesse Eisenberg is very like that Woody Allen, nervous kind of energy, New York Jewish kind of sensibility, family background, brilliant, and all that. And it reminded me, and I said, isn't it funny how he's giving me that Woody Allen shtick? And then we talked about, isn't it weird how we now we all kind of culturally just don't go to it. And we would not acknowledge his films as a kind of important thing. Well, anyway, the news today for me, and it's not new news. I'm kind of, again, we knew this on October the 18th, apparently. It's Tarantino who has been, the information that he's been supportive of the Israelis'
Quentin
policy.
Tarantino,
the director,
Reservoir Dogs.
Then on October the 18th, at a point when really the response had already gone way beyond any form of justified self-defense, he was out there supporting the IDF, supporting the soldiers, giving them a rousing kind of morale boost. And a huge part of my creative heart collapsed this morning. It really did. I mean, it really did, because I thought, now what will I do when because
you love his movies. I haven't seen all of them, but the movies I did watch, weirdly, I did love, because I don't like violence, and yet I thought he had this genius way of putting this comedy,
exactly,
where he was taking the piss out of that kind of violence. I thought he was really clever.
And I thought, in a week where I did talk about Kevin Spacey whilst I was in New York, some people thought I was a bit unfair and kind of caricaturing his breakdown or his crying, and at what point do you, I'm not saying there's no answer to this. I think it's different for different strokes for different folks. Another one that kind of came up in our conversation, which was, is there a difference, say, between him having a political opinion like that you disagree with wholeheartedly, you feel, okay, you could argue was at its time. I'm already looking at the ways in which I can minimize the
Weinstein
error.
Is that with Weinstein? I mean, it's, for me, and maybe I'm wrong, it's like, I would never want you to promote his films again on Popcorn Junkies.
Right.
I wouldn't want you to review him.
Right, really?
Because just the whole Weinstein, he made so many films with Weinstein.
Well,
and we were looking at some of the things that he said since Weinstein, back in 2017 and then up to 2022, where those statements he's PR'd a bit more nicely, in a nicer way.
He got his story straight.
And it makes me sick, and it makes my skin crawl. And I just think, I don't understand, when you've got huge power, when you've got multiple homes, when you've got millions in the bank, and you can't take a risk and speak up. Because when you watch people have so little speak up, I just think,
I mean, to give some context, so he has an apartment in Tel Aviv, or a property there. He's married to an Israeli singer who herself is the daughter of a very famous, I think, Israeli singer. The question I want to ask is this. Obviously, I disagree wholeheartedly with his support, who he's supporting, and how he can get on board with anything that Israel has done in Palestine. Can that person still be creatively admired if his work or her work has nothing to do with the topic you disagree with them over? They haven't done anything illegal, as in they haven't themselves, potentially with Kevin Spacey. We know that he hasn't been found guilty of anything. But with other people like Weinstein, a good example we used was Bill Cosby.
Michael Jackson.
Bill Cosby was a great example, because as you rightly reminded me, we all trusted him. I
adored Bill Cosby. I absolutely loved him. I loved the whole family. We didn't drop an episode of the series.
Yeah, same.
Then I've listened to the entire podcast of what he did. Oh, I could never watch him again. I could never listen to him again. He was so damn funny, Mark.
Oh, no, I know.
But I wouldn't go around saying nobody watched Bill Cosby. It's just in my heart. I just because I feel queasy.
Interesting, Zoe. I want to read your comment. That's really interesting. You're talking about something here which is even a development of this topic, which is your sad one, is Michelle Obama for saying nothing about Palestine. So there's the absence Michelle of a comment.
Obama. I watched a documentary twice. I adored the Obamas, both of them. And the only time Barack has stood up and said anything was when it was to say, sign this bloody deal. And as Mark said, the reason for that was because Biden needs him to get in. So it's a very good one. I'm so sad.
So I find it really interesting. MeTube says you can divorce you see, and I can't work out where I'm looking for a retrofit so I can give a green pass to a filmmaker, because I feel there are so few filmmakers that actually genuinely have a voice that kind of challenges.
Has he made any good films recently? When was the last time he made a really good film?
The Hateful Eight was great.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, well, I did like one.
But it's like tonight, The House of Dragons starts. We're going to be watching it and reviewing it.
House of the Dragon, yes.
And there are multiple actors in that have supported Palestine. And I'm like, because we're excited about the series anyway, but we're like now, oh, wow, this is great. So it can work that way as well, that I like people even more for it.
This is a good point from Cambo. I think because we think so highly of celebs, we dehumanize them, so that when their bad behavior comes to light, it feels so much worse than if it was someone down the street. And I guess that comes back to this idea of them being role models, exemplars of kind of good behaviour.
And I mean, I'm hugely sympathetic to that, because I don't like this idea somebody's rich and they've got all of this, because I think we still have all the same human feelings. But I think just personally, when somebody does something that knocks at my personal moral code in a really heinous way, it's not small, it has to be something really awful, then yes, but it does have to be something really awful. So it's not like, if somebody's a bit of a madam or they're a diva or they have to be really awful.
So by the same standard, Kim Kardashian should be in the sin bin. Really?
Because she hasn't said anything about Palestine.
Well, not only not said anything, was she not? Has she only expressed support for one side?
No, she did both sides.
She did.
Yeah, but you see,
how much of that is just kind of playing it safe?
But she is playing it safe. But she's not a filmmaker. She's not an artist. She's not a politician.
She's an actress.
She's not. But
she's a huge influencer.
She's a huge influencer, and she's a humanitarian. I mean, she devotes a lot of time getting people out of prison that shouldn't have been in prison. And it is a difficult game out there, isn't it? It's a very difficult game out there because of, as we know, Israel's tendrils are everywhere. So,
Okay, so finally the cow that I couldn't believe this. I just couldn't believe the footage. Should I show the footage or not? No, I don't think I will.
People can find it.
Yeah, what I didn't realise. I mean, I saw something about a cow being hit by a police officer, and then, but when I watched the footage this morning, I was so shocked to see that he did it twice.
Now you see.
No, I'm not going to show it. I'm not going to show it.
Again, you think, what's your character to be able to do that? Like, once you could think, he was really terrified that it was going to hurt somebody else.
Well, that's why I thought he did it.
It was nighttime, wasn't it? And there was nobody on the road, was there?
No.
So did he panic? I mean, was he panic stricken?
Well, apparently the calf is in recovery. The son, you said the son took a letter.
Oh my God.
This is so
funny.
The
son went to the calf with a get well soon card. What are they doing? Whipping up hate and anger. Right, it is a calf.
Yeah.
It does not need a get well soon card.
10-month-old calf that roamed for 5 miles around Surrey. The officer has been removed from frontline duties as the probe gets underway. I mean, yes. I mean, when you watch the footage, I'm staggered and amazed it didn't break its leg, because it goes under the front of the car. The cow was chasing a person, says Laura Lou. Was it? Well, you see, this is always the thing. When you only see one angle on anything, even when we live in this age where CCTV, social media, you think, well, I've seen it. I can see it and I can make a judgment. You can't, dependent on the angle, depending on the position, depending on what happened before and after.
This is it. It's because, we can't make any judgment on this police officer at the moment until we know what the bloody situation was. Exactly. They might have, but if it was a situation that they know that he was called out, that he was chasing people, it could have, I think they should reveal that, because all this hate that is going on this police officer.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm choosing between a person and a calf, and somebody's going to get knocked over, could have been somebody with a bat, I'm going to choose the calf. I'm sorry, I just am.
You're going to rescue the calf?
No, I'm going to get the calf out of the way before it knocks over a person, a child, or whatever.
Any of our Indian followers here, or anyone who's travelled to India, I saw the most awful, what was it called, jackknifed accident with a truck in outside Delhi, New Delhi, when a truck sought to avoid. They will avoid all cows because they're sacred animals, and it caused the most awful crash. It went into stalls. It went into a building. So, in different cultures and in different worlds, the value of the life of an animal.
Remember the horse a few weeks ago, that horse galloping through London?
Oh, yeah, all those horses. Jesus Christ, yeah. So, for example, in that instance, should a car have intercepted them because they injured a lot of people? It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
I know animal activists and animal welfare would quite rightly argue, why were the horses shouldn't be domesticated, they shouldn't be looked after, why were they?
Yeah, but we are in the world that we're in, so you have to judge things on the world that we're in.
Laura Lou says, a baby cow is a threat to people. A baby cow is huge, but it was nighttime, so less risky than daytime.
Yeah. Well, it will all be revealed. I think we just got to hold off.
Good point. They could have boxed it in, like a sheepdog. They could have, but maybe they weren't experienced.
We just don't know what the situation was.
No, exactly. Anyway, it's better. It's getting better, which is nice to hear. That was nice.
Nice to have you back, Tony.
Nice, thanks,
Happy
babe.
Father's Day.
And thank you. I had a lovely day, even though I was sort of in and out of a sort of hallucinatory
I felt
sleep.
bad because you didn't get the food that you desired, but I'm going to make it for you tonight.
I did kind of. It was lovely. What did I have?
Pizza.
Oh yeah, no, it was great.
Can't wait
oh
to
my
show
god!
you
And I had
my
the
pizza
best
oven.
bread and butter pudding. That was so sweet.
Maddie, the day
That
before,
was so sweet.
Made this bread and butter pudding for Mark. Bread pudding is his favourite.
Oh, with
She was
sultanas,
so
not raisins. She just knows me so well.
No candied peel. So she said, 600 grams of raisins went in that.
Where is it? I've suddenly got
She goes,
hungry
Mum,
again.
it's nearly all raisins. I went,
my
yep.
god!
He'll be as happy as Larry.
You just opened that can of worms.
She was nursing it. Where shall I put it? How shall I cover it? What fridge shall I put it in? She was so sweet.
There we go.
Anyway.
Freya van der Westhuizen is still thinking of my testicles. You mean my technicals? Tangling my technicals.
Please subscribe to the channel because it's so surprising how many of you don't.
Yeah. In fact, most of you are family guests. There we go. Go and check out yesterday's No Name Sunday show. It was there yesterday. Some nice little flecks and bits of colour from Times Square in there too. And a fabulous fried chicken recipe. Well, not by you, but it was long and it was beautiful though to film. So yeah, there you go.
Buttermilk fried chicken done the proper way. Wow, it was a palaver.
Guys, have a lovely day. Lovely to be back. See you on the morrow. And